Hey guys, David Duford here. So we're going to start Module 2, Part 2 of the Agency Building Fundamentals, just to kind of clarify and expand on some points made earlier. So let's get started. So today's objectives are pretty simple. First, we're going to talk about discussion regarding agency finance leads, as well as agent finance leads. And then we're also going to talk about commission structure strategy, and then end with some options on getting discounted licensing if you recruit an agent, which many of you will, that are not currently licensed and want some really discounted pre-licensing, should be what it says. Okay, so agency finance lead strategies. So a lot of you will be in the position to where in your recruiting endeavors, you're going to have to foot the bill, at least initially, on the leads themselves, especially if you're doing a paid lead solution or if you're just basically taking care of the cost. So I wanted to put some ideas together that I have seen that have worked well to kind of help you get a better handle over terms and how leads are paid for. The one thing I didn't put on the notes here, but I think is really important to understand, is that this is really the main reason why I really support a localized approach to recruiting first. Because what happens is that the vast majority of you guys will be recruiting agents that won't be able to buy their own leads or will have fear in doing it. They'll give the business an honest shot, but putting up the money to buy the leads is going to be another layer of selling that deals with personal confidence, financial capability, and it may end up chasing away good quality talent that is sold on the concept but not on buying leads. Again, this is probably the majority of agents that are out there. So, and the reason you recruit locally, again, is because when you recruit locally, you're in a position where if an agent doesn't work out, either another agent who works with you or even yourself, especially if getting started, can take those leads that you paid for and essentially work them to extract your investment out of and continue to make a profit on your personal production. So there is a stopgap measurement here, or I should say a stopgap process here that allows you to control the costs in a way that are a lot harder for maybe even someone like myself who recruits nationally, which is why I don't pay for agents' leads, because I can't extract my investment out of them if the agent fails out. And again, knowing the failure rate, you have to have some strategy involved to prevent your money from going to waste. Okay, so let's talk first now about payment terms, upfront versus receipt. So in most circumstances, especially if you're buying direct mail, you're going to be in a position where you have to pay for the leads up front. If you've got a long-term relationship, if you've done a lot of business with somebody, and most of you have used the same vendors for a considerable amount of time, negotiate the idea of paying them on receipt. And what that would be is that instead of paying them up front, you will get paid, the vendor will be paid when the leads are received. This is a way to control, especially for longer term types of lead situations like fresh direct mail, a way to reduce your upfront money and have it paid for when the leads come in. That just reduces the working capital, if you want to look at it from an accounting term, the money that's tied up in leads by 3 to 4 weeks in many cases. So try to negotiate an upfront or away from an upfront deal to a receipt if at all basis, payments on receipt if at all possible. Now, if you're working things like Facebook leads, that kind of thing, that's a little bit better because you're going to get your leads within a couple of days. So this strategy may not make sense if you're working an internet-based lead where you procure the leads pretty quickly from the time that you generate them, or you pay for the exposure on the platform. So credit financed, you can also look at getting credit financing for your leads or for your agency's leads. Again, if you've been in business for a year or two, it shouldn't be any problem at all looking at some alternative strategies for paying for your leads if you don't want to or can't front the money in a big way for your agents. So easy things like no interest credit cards. Most of you should be able to find some with a $5,000 or $10,000 credit line. That would be sufficient to start an agent off on. Also, working capital loans. Lots of banks offer these Again, they're going to look at your average balance in your bank account, that kind of thing, to establish if what's possible. And if you own a home, you should also consider looking at a home equity line. Again, these are just basic ways to credit finance your business model that, again, will remove the need for upfront cash, hard cash, to pay for leads. Again, you don't have to do all this, but this is just strategies that I've employed, some of these that just help me get better terms. And knowing that I've got the leads locally, again, to go back to, if things don't work out, I'm not so concerned if I'm taking on debt, because I have the ability to buy those leads, working myself, worst case scenario. And then lastly, carrier finance. So there are some carriers that will lead finance you or your agents. You have to co-sign on the lead finance. This is another way to try to control or try to create a lead flow system without the agent having money. So, for example, I worked with a company called United Heritage many years ago. They probably still are around and offering this. Essentially what they do is, once you've shown, do some business with them, then they'll allow agents to take a certain amount of money as lead finance debt in order to fund their direct mail. Again, this is a strategy I would only employ if you are working with an agent who is local to you, somebody that you can control for. Because when you take lead finance debt on, you're also taking on the risk of non-payment, not just for that, but also for chargeback debt. So, and that's really true of everything. But this is one more thing the carriers will hold over your head. Are you an insurance agent who is interested in building your own agency? If that's the case, then beware. There are so many opportunities, quote, opportunities, out there for agents to level up their game and build their agency that put all sorts of contingencies and stopgap measures to prevent you from actually owning your agency and maximizing your commission. I put together a new program for those agents who are interested in creating their own agency. It doesn't matter what product you sell, but to give you the knowledge and the pathway to own the entire process of growing your agency and scaling it, and making sure that no one, not a single company, person, or upline owns you, where you own the thing outright and you build your agency in your vision only. This program is something you can learn more about very easily if you go to davidduford.com, click at the top that says Join Dave's Agency. You'll see a part there where it says Agency Builder Program, or something like that. Check that out, review it, and then feel free to get back with me if it's something that's interesting to you and useful, especially if you're looking to grow an agency and understand the importance of building an independent way that has no entangling alliances with anyone except the vision that you have. So thanks for watching, and hope to hear from you soon. See you, bye.